And welcome once again to the Dungee podcast, where conversation is always the essence of the soul. I am your host, Sonia Dungee, and yes, still bringing that heat to the IG, Facebook, YouTube, and now TikTok streets. Excuse me one moment while I am trying to make sure that we do not forget anyone tonight. I do not want to forget anyone tonight, and I promise you we will not. Okay, all systems are go. So, if you didn't hear the beginning, so if you get a breakthrough, an aha, if you receive value or if you can relate, please state that in the chat. Also, please let us know where you are joining in from, what geographic region. You know that's important to me. I love to see where people are definitely tuning in from, and I promise you, I will be looking to see. So, yes, I see you coming in. I see Jacksonville, Florida is in the building. Thank you for that. Jumping back and forth. Okay. So as you come, I promise I will announce you. If you hear some background noises, we have the AV guy in the background, Namari. Okay, so he's joined us in the studio tonight. He's over there doing his own thing, but you might hear a little bit of noise, and it's all good. We're family, and that's what we do. So I see you coming in still. I see Florida is in the building. Thank you once again. I see you, and I see you. Okay. Okay. As you come in, don't be shy. I really want to know where you're tuning in from. Okay. I see you in the building. I see you, Florida. Thank you once again. Okay. I want to personally thank you for your continued support. I couldn't do this podcast without all of you. Your presence, your DMs, your text messages, your phone calls, and even your emails, they do not go unnoticed, and we make every effort to respond back. I want you to know that you are seen and you are heard and you are felt. And yes, they're saying hi, Namari. Namari, they're saying hello to you. I knew you were going to make it your way into the studio. Come. It's gorilla. Yes. Okay. It's gorilla. Okay, yes. Do you want to say hello, or are you just stopping in for a moment and you're leaving? Huh? All right, come. Wait a minute. You're knocking over the studio things here. Okay. Oh. All right, look, turn around and say hello to everybody, and then you can go on your... Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hi, everybody. Say hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Okay. Okay. Tell them bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Thank you for joining. All right. You good now? All right. You good? Okay. Thank you for joining. We'll see you in a little bit, I'm sure. All right. So with that being said, without further ado, let's begin, shall we? So if you're ready, type in the comments ready so we can definitely go ahead and get started. I see Washington, D.C. has joined us. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Looking for that ready in the comments so that we can continue. Anybody want to put a stab, take a stab at it and put the word ready in the chat? I'm waiting. Okay. I see it ready. All right. Thank you. So we are now ready. I am ready as well. Great. All right. So by the end of this podcast, let me pop back over here. One moment. Okay. So by the end of this podcast tonight, I want you to be able to have a sharper perspective of the 5 steps that are provided for next level abundance. All right. So I want to begin asking this question to all of you. What does the sharpest tool in the shed mean to all of you? Does anybody want to take a stab at it? You can go ahead and put that in the comments. What does that mean to you if you hear the sharpest tool in the shed. Now, I've heard that for such a long time, and I know it has two meanings to it. So I'm waiting for someone to be bold enough to tell me what that means to you. Pop it in, pop it in. Okay, so since you're bold, all right, it's a standard meaning. It's a standard meaning, and it means, yes, the smartest, the best. Absolutely. Thank you for that. It's that someone with that exceptional intellect, quick-witted or clever. Okay, so that's where we're going to go, and we're going to keep it here. Okay, we're not going to go with the opposite meaning. We're going to keep it here. It's just so that we're on the same page. We have that understanding so that we can move forward with the clear and concise understanding. All right, so when we hear the dull tool, that's a less useful or effective, known as not the sharpest tool in the shed. Okay, and sharpest tool in shed is the most effective in achieving what I want to accomplish 100%. And we are all sharp tools in the shed. All right, our goal is we're going to aim to leave with a sharpened perspective tonight. Okay, that's what our goal is. That's our aim. Okay, and statistics have shown that 66% of the population stands firm in their fixed mindset, while 34% were more apt to change. Okay, I mean, I know this isn't really 100% foolproof percentage, but we don't know who they surveyed, but this is what we got from it. So this is what we're going to use today. And I see that dull tool means less efficient, 100%. Thank you for that. Okay. All right. So I am going to give you 5 steps towards that sharper perspective in order to achieve next level abundance. So that's what we are going to be talking about tonight. All right. So number 1 is we're going to talk about that attitude of gratitude. Now, I know we spoke about this last week, okay, in depth, but an attitude of gratitude is still going to be number 1. Okay, no matter what we do, it's still going to be number 1 because that's the first thing in the day. We have to have that attitude of gratitude, right? So we did speak quite a bit about it, about that subject matter last week, and you are more than free to go back and view last week's episode. But we're going to start our day with that great morning, right? Great morning. We woke up this morning, so everything else in life is just operational. We're not going to sweat the small stuff because we woke up, because there's people from all nationalities, walk of life, ethnicity who did not wake up this morning. Okay, so if everybody will do this exercise with me, it's really quick, I promise you. Okay, just sit up straight. Okay, sit up straight. Take a deep breath. Hold it, and then exhale. Okay, take that deep breath. Take it in, and then exhale it, and then we're going to smile. Okay, so okay, trust me, it works. It's got me through so many things, but it's just a great start to the day. Just exhaling and, breathing out, and then getting that smile on your face and just being grateful. Okay, and in that, this hasn't changed either. Journaling. Okay, journaling in that gratitude journal. Okay, and this was the assignment that you had last week. I recommended that you do it every single day. So if you religiously every single day write 3 things that you are truly grateful, 3 things, okay, in 365 days, which we all know is 1 year, you're going to have a minimum, at the very least, amount of 1,095 different reasons to be grateful. You don't have to stop there. If you have more than 3 a day, great. That's fantastic. But a minimum of 3. It only takes a few minutes to think about them and write them down. And trust me, it makes all the difference. All the difference to do that. First thing in the morning, okay? And I see that Harlem has joined us, so thank you so much. Harlem is in the building. Thank you. Okay, so number 1, remember, attitude of gratitude and journaling. 3 things at a minimum. 365, you're going to get 1,095 different reasons. Different. Don't copy the same thing every day because it's pointless. Okay? 2, morning routine. Okay? Morning routine. It is important. Be diligent and intentionally focused in the start of your day. Okay? Because that sets the tone for the rest of your day. Set a regimented routine from the moment you wake up in the morning, from the moment those eyes of yours open up. Okay? So start with a prayer. Okay? For us faith-based people, okay? Are the daughters and sons of God. Okay? Start with a prayer. Thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. Thank you for allowing me to see another day. I'm so grateful. And go from there. Okay? It doesn't have to be long, but say your prayer. Okay? And then, I know Big Sis is watching, drink your first intake of warm water. Okay? Whether it be 8 ounces to start or 16 ounces, but get that water going in that body. Okay? Because we got to break our fast. Okay? The breakfast. All right, if you want to know more about that, reach out to Coach DA, Coach Dawn Allen, Stay Sexy Wellness. She'll tell you all about that, okay? But get that water in, okay? Take your medicine. Taking your medicine is important. That's one great way not to forget, okay? Especially if you have to take it on an empty stomach, get that medicine in you, okay? So once you've done those things, make up your bed. Okay, get that bed made. I personally love to make up my bed. Okay, I even spray some smell goods. I shake out my pillows, get them nice and crisp, and get it all together and, make it up. Because my grandmother always taught me, keep yourself clean, keep your surroundings clean, make up your bed. So I make sure my bed is made up in the morning. And one step further, I know how to do it with the hospital corners, but that's another story for another day. Okay. So tidy up around you. Don't leave the house a mess, because the worst thing in the world is coming back to a mess. Same thing, like, for instance, when I go on vacation, everything's got to be spick and span before I leave, because the worst thing in the world is coming back to the mess that you left. So that gets me going for my day. I'm tidying up before I leave as well. Okay. And then we are going to go into number 3. Okay. Schedule and plan your day. Schedule and plan your day. And I'm going to pop back and forth in the comments because I know we're going to get some. And sure enough, we do. Morning routine is most important. Thank you for that, DC. Hydrate. Absolutely. Meds. Making one's bed is joyful. Yes, it is. Because I know when I'm sick and I'm unable to, and I have to, and I get up out of bed and I got to get back in the bed in a little bit, I'm like, I just don't feel right, because I'm already sick, but I'm so accustomed to having my bed looking decent. I mean, it might not be perfect, especially when I'm not feeling well, but at least it's intact at the very least. Okay. All right. So then we're going to schedule and plan our day accordingly. Okay. And then we are going to execute what it is that we planned in our day and we scheduled for. Okay. Being mindful of time management. I hear it all the time. People say, there's not enough time in the day. I don't know how to manage my time. And not to worry, because I'm going to be doing a time management workshop really soon. I promise you. I've been asked for quite some time. I said I was going to do it. Other things took more precedent, but I promise you, I am going to have that time management workshop for all of you. Okay. So part of this time management is I don't have enough time. I go to work, and then after work, I got to do this or that. Okay. Well, I have a question for you, but I'm gonna hold it for a minute. All right. So not all of us, but most of us like to exercise in the morning if at all possible, get the juices flowing, adrenaline going, all that good stuff, right? So if that's the case, while you're exercising, listen to or even watch a motivational audio or video for the duration of time that you're spending on, for instance, the treadmill, okay? Or if you're on one of those exercise bikes, or if you're taking a walk, or while showering, getting dressed, driving in a car, or riding a bus, an Uber, or a train. There's always some time that we take for granted that we can get something done in the morning, okay? Trust me, we can do it. I promise you, we can get it done. Set daily goals. And when you execute each and every one of them, celebrate those wins. Let me give an example. Okay. So an example would be, for me, I'm not going to front. I have over 92,000 emails on only one of my accounts. Okay. Because they're coming in so fast every day. And I manage my time where checking my email, especially the junk mail, all that stuff isn't a precedent for me. It's not most important. I don't have to get that done. I'll just kind of look through them, see if there's anything of importance that I need to read, and I'll read that, and everything else kind of falls to the wayside. Okay. But clear out your emails. All right. So what I did was, I actually now have a virtual assistant to help with that, because again, I keep saying I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. But the time that I take to do that is taking away from something else. So at least I took care of that. Okay. Return those dreaded phone calls. Okay. Those business phone calls where you're like, okay, I'm going to return them. But you've been putting them to the side because it's like, you've prioritized, and those maybe are not as important, but don't linger. Return those calls. Okay. Tackling jobs that you needed to do, like the untidy room in the house, like the attic or the garage or the closet that's been holding those clothes that you haven't worn in years, or the laundry that's been piling up for a week or more. Anybody who knows me, I don't play the dirty laundry game. I got to keep washing clothes. Certain things and that's one of them. I got to stay on top of that. But guilty as charged when it comes to the closet. I have things in my closet that I bought that, in my defense, they don't fit me anymore. They're too big. All right. So I went through those and the things that I had in storage, and I still have more, but go through those clothes. It's a change of season. If you haven't worn them in a year, as my daughter Brittany says, Mom, if you haven't worn them in a year, you're not going to wear them. So do what you need to do to bag them up and donate them. Me personally, I'm not going to donate anything that I wouldn't wear myself. So if anything is worn or has a rip or whatever, I will not donate that if I can't, rectify it, fix it, patch it up, or what have you. That's just me, and I just, I do unto others as I would have others do unto me, and I'm not giving away something that I truly know is not worthy of somebody else wearing. Okay. So I see DC: plan day, execute exercises, multitasking, doing something else constructive. Absolutely, positively. Yes. Welcome, North Carolina. I see you have joined. Thank you so much. We have clear out emails, return dreaded phone calls, tackle unfinished businesses, super value. Thank you so much. I feel like I have another virtual assistant. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you so much. That work project that has a due date that's vastly approaching, get it done. Get it done. I don't like to have things lingering that I know that I have a project coming up. I'd rather just get it done than just keep putting it off and then start to trip because the day's getting closer and closer and I haven't even touched it. So take the time, fit it into your schedule, and get it done. Even if you have to break it up into smaller goals to get it done, just do it. Just get it done. Trust me, you'll feel so much better about yourself once you do that as well. Okay. And so when you hit that goal, okay, our goals is important. You know, we talked about SMART goals in the past, so you guys should be fluent in that. Set goals for yourself, SMART goals, and every time you achieve it, something that makes sense, make it make sense, right? It's party time. Celebrate, okay? Point being, it lightens the burden of dreading the next project, okay? So because you know you have something to look forward to. For me, I keep myself busy during the day between jobbing and things to run Always Destined for Greatness and helping others that are in need and answering text messages and phone calls and the emails that make sense that I have to and not spam and junk stuff and all that. I use that time wisely in my day. All right. And so I say to myself, okay, so when I completed this job, all right, there's a movie I really wanted to see, or a really good book that I want to get into, or something that I really want to do. So that's how I reward myself doing that. Or I'll take a little bit of time out for myself before the Saturday, Sunday, because by Saturday, we need to have that self-care and that self-love. We should be doing it every single day, but at the very least, at the 2 to 4 times a week. So I said Saturday and Sunday, self-care, self-love, SS, got it? Okay. I'm reading the chat. I'm writing down all of this so I won't forget. Start your day with prayer, warm water, take medication, make up your bed, then schedule and plan your day, then execute what we have planned. Stick to, one moment. Stick to the plan, management your time, and set daily goals and celebrate the wins. Return phone calls and emails, text messages, declutter your closet. All due date work projects, get it done. When all is done, celebrate. Remember, iron sharpens iron. Girl, go ahead, Florida. You got that. I am so proud of you. You are on point. If you're getting value tonight, please let me know in the comments that you're definitely getting value. If you can relate, please also let me know. Relate. As stated before, if you're getting a breakthrough or an aha, I would love to know that as well. And yes, thank you so much. So, boy, I got it. All the social media. Thank you so much. You guys are killing it with the comments. Rewards are useful all times in motivating ourselves to achieve goals. Absolutely. And thank you for the value that is being received. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So, as I said, so if you're having trouble, okay, in breaking in hitting these goals that we're talking about, break the activities into smaller sessions, okay? Do that. Trust me, that works, okay? So what I do is, in these instances, I break them down into 15 minutes, keeping it 100. I gotta break them down into 15-minute intervals, okay? So I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna take this 15 minutes to start working on this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm dreading this, okay? So I break it into 15 minutes, and then mind you, I periodically look at the clock on my computer. And as I see we're getting closer to the 15 minutes, I'm like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Let's do another 15 minutes. And then another 15 minutes. And then another. Okay. And before you know it, mission accomplished. Okay. You just keep adding 15 and then again, add another, again till another. Okay. It works. trust me, at the end, I feel so good that I got that done. And then I say to myself, what was wrong with me? Like, why did I dread this? It wasn't as bad. But if I would have known that, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to be doing this and just be dreading the 2 hours, knowing that if I break them up into 15-minute intervals, I'm like, I got that. That's like walking on the treadmill, and that's not my forte either. But I'll do it, and I'll do that 15 minutes, and then I'll another 15 minutes, and then heck, I'll even throw a little bit of incline in there. But when you break things down into smaller minutes, smaller sections, it works. It's a good psychic way of getting the job done. Okay. And then we're at number 4. So 4 is empathy. Okay. Empathy. It's not sympathy, it's empathy. And that's that ability to walk in another person's footprints. Okay. I see the value and the relatability. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, in doing that, it helps to broaden the understanding of another person's viewpoints. Okay. And that cognitively, sharing the emotional experience of another with compassion, concern, and wanting to be able to assist someone. Okay. I know that sometimes it's hard. We all are guilty at one point or another of being a little hard-headed. I'm one of them. Okay. I should say I was one of them. Okay. It was my way or no way, in the sense that you all know I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I once was that atlas carrying the world on my shoulder. Okay. But sometimes it was really hard to look at somebody and not understand why they're not understanding me. They're not following what I'm doing. They're giving me resistance. And it wasn't until I learned about empathy, true empathy. Like I said, you're not giving somebody sympathy, okay? You're just allowing yourself the opportunity to understand somebody else's walk, okay? How they see things, all right? How they're feeling emotionally, okay? And then that's when you're able to give compassion and that concern, and you want to be able to help that person. Okay. Don't allow yourself to go overboard with it, but just show empathy. Trust me, we all need to show more empathy and sprinkle more kindness while we're at it, especially in the world that we live in today. Okay. And then in that is the number 5. All right. And 5 is, I call it development. All right. And in the development, that is where the failures and the setbacks and the challenges, they're necessary for that forward progression. Okay. Nobody sets out to purposely fail, but in that failure, that personal development is a learning experience. Okay. We get out of that better decision making. Okay. A better perspective mindset. Okay. There's always that message in that mess. There's always in that problem, there's a project that we can work on in those moments. And I don't want to not go on without popping back again into the chat. Seek to understand another's point of view. Yes. Break it down. Yes. Yes. And like I said, there's times when we can become frustrated. Yes. And if the world did not teach us anything, is that empathy. Okay. Empathy is really big. Just understanding that other person. All right. And a better development, okay, for ourselves, that better both personally and that learning development, okay. And as I said, if we're going to fail, And if we're going to fall, let's fall forward, because it's easy for us to push ourselves back up. Okay. Those setbacks, those challenges, they're necessary. Okay. For forward progression. If everything was peachy keen and we just went on in the world, trust me, there would be a point when there would be failure. So nobody's perfect. We all know that. And when we fail, whether it be, I was hard on myself in school. If I got a grade less than a B, that was failure to me. Okay. Because of how I was raised. But a C isn't all that bad. That's midway. A D is still passing. I'm not sitting here advocating that to the children. So if you got any children that are listening in the background and they hear that, don't hold me accountable. Okay. But make sure that you're learning something. You've learned something. You've taken something out of it for better decision making. Okay. Broaden our horizons, sharpen our tools for that better perspective mindset. All right. There's always a message, as I said. Okay. In the mess, find it. Okay. You got that problem. Find a great project out of it. Okay. Find a project out of it. All right. So with that being said, an opportunity to develop a skill which allows for a shift in focus for sharpening positive aspects in life's abundance. Okay. And I hear we talk about in a class, fruitful abundance. Okay. Fruit. Look for the fruit. Look for tangible evidence. Okay. Of abundance. And no matter what we do, every day there is some type of tangible abundance. We just have to train ourselves to look for it. And then, of course, we are going to celebrate those wins. All right. So as we begin to move forward to conclusion tonight, let's recap for that sharper perspective. All right. To ensure the utilization of the 5 steps that were needed for the next level abundance. And before I recap that, just want to go back to seek understanding from another point of view. And yes, DC, development, forward progression of lessons learned through failures. Absolutely. So with that, number 1, and actually they're already in the chat. Thank you, DC, for that. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you, Florida. You as well did a great job of putting them in the chat as well. But for those of you who aren't able to read the chat, the first one was that attitude of gratitude. Okay. Be grateful for anything and everything. Don't look for what it is that you don't have. Be grateful for what it is that you do have. And trust me, the storms in life is real, and I've gone through them, and I didn't allow myself to get stuck in what I didn't have. But I was grateful for everything. The roof over my head, waking up in the morning, being able to breathe air, thanking God for the path that He's led me down. Not dwelling on the smaller things, okay, the things of this world, just being grateful and giving myself grace in that. Okay, remember, God's riches at Christ's expense. Give yourself grace as well. And we talk about that often. And the number 2 was that morning routine. Be diligent and intentional and start your day. Get yourself on a schedule, a morning routine of getting up in the morning and of taking your medicine and drinking warm water, because according to Coach DA, we should be drinking warm water and not cold water. And you can reach out to her, and I'm sure she can give you a better understanding in her field of expertise. And but we should start with a prayer, then drink the water, a minimum of 8 to 16 ounces a day, and take our medicine. Especially if we should be taking it on an empty stomach, make sure to take that medicine, make up that bed. Okay. Tidy up before you leave. Make sure you journal 3 different entries, 3 different things that you are grateful for, a minimum of 3 every single day. So if you do that and you times that by 365, you get 1,095 or more. Okay. You don't have to stop at 3, but journal. Okay. And then schedule and plan your day out accordingly. Make use of that time. Okay. Any little pockets of time you have, watch or listen to motivational audios or videos. Okay. Be careful what you're listening to, what you allow your mind, um what you allow for your mind to think about and to receive. Okay. That's important. Okay. While you're in the shower, if you're walking, if you're exercising, if you're driving to work, if you're taking an Uber, if you are taking a train or a bus, that's time when you're just sitting there. Make sure you do something important. Okay. Just do something of important. All right. Set your daily goals. And when you execute them, make sure you celebrate those wins. Okay. And I gave you some examples of those, and celebrate them. As I said, celebrating is big because when you celebrate, you have something to look forward to. Okay. And 4 is about empathy. All right. Just put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You're not giving them sympathy, it's empathy. Okay. And then, of course, number 5 was okay, I lost what number 5 was. One moment. All right, that was the development. Okay, make sure you develop yourself both personally and through learning. Okay, and part of that was something that I had to do. Okay, if anybody's new and you might not have heard my story, I'll tell it to you briefly. Okay, back on January 23rd of 2021, okay, it was the darkest time in my life. I became isolated. Okay, I was broken because as I sat there and held my dad's hand, not that I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to hold his hand. I didn't want to look at him because I figured if I did, then that would be admitting what's about to happen. So reluctantly but lovingly, I held my dad's hand and I watched as that tear came down his cheek. And in that moment, I saw him take his last breath on this earth and his first breath in heaven. And as a result of being broken in a dark place, and there where I remained and lost a lot of weight and ran back and forth to the cemetery and isolated myself from my family because I didn't want them to know how much I was grieving, because I didn't want to add to the burden of their grief. I didn't want to tell my friends because I didn't want them to feel sorry for me, because there was a lot of them who knew my dad personally and he was a dad to everyone. And so I didn't want to add that grief with them. And I guess a part of me didn't want to show that I was breaking down, that I wasn't that Atlas, that I wasn't carrying the world on my shoulder, that I was a human being and I had emotions, and that I was crying and I was upset and I missed my dad. And so with that, during the height of the pandemic, that lasted for an entire year, if you might as well say, for 342 days. And it was at that point when enough became enough and my perspective changed. I knew I needed to get help because I couldn't do it alone. Willpower alone wasn't working for me. I needed to find a mentor. And I was blessed to do just that. I call him a mentor. I call him a coach. I call him my friend. I call him family now. But I told him what happened. I was truthful. And he told me if I was teachable, coachable, intentional, I did the work and everything else, fast forward, that he would show me how. And I did just that. And as a result, today, I sit before all of you as a transformation coach. And I'm able to help women that are in their mid 30s to 50s to late 50s. I help them to become independent, unbroken, having an attitude of expectation and of excellence so that they could achieve their economic independence. They can move forward with their life, find what their purpose is, and walk fully in that God-given purpose, and even emulate and do the things that they wanted to do in life and be their very best selves in a nutshell. Okay, so that's why I'm also sitting here as podcast host, because I know that there's people out there that need to hear my story and what I'm sharing, because I didn't know where to go. I'm sure I had a podcast that I could have watched, but I didn't know. When you don't know what you don't know until you do know. And that's why I show up, God willing, 186 episodes later. Okay, so with that being said, I want to pop back over once again. Okay. Don't sit idle. Use your time wisely. Absolutely, 100%. Use your time wisely. I have something that is trying to block my view, but that's okay. See this? Okay. Don't want to leave out anyone because we know on certain platforms, once it's gone, and I can no longer see it. Looks like I'm challenged here. Okay. For whatever reason, I'm no longer able to see that on Instagram. I'm sorry. I don't know if I lost you guys, but if I did, I promise I will drop the replay in there. All right, so next, be on the lookout for the registration link for the next Boss Masterclass, which is being presented on November 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be November 5th, the first Wednesday in the month at 7 p.m. So be on the lookout. Registration is coming soon. Hint, hint. And also this Friday, October 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Always Destined for Greatness, LLC will be presenting special edition number 187, which is Pink Friday. And that will be in honor of Cancer Awareness Month. Okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you there. So with that being said, thank you for joining. Be safe. Stay well. God bless you all. Good night. And bye for now.